Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I got a regular hamburger there and, regular order of fries. And, it was good. I didn't, do cartwheels back at the hotel, but, it was good.
When do you do cartwheels? Is kind of what I'm.
Well,
that's a great question.
Lots of times it's when I'm alone. But,
the visual on that is priceless.
Well, the broken back would be the result of that.
Chuck doing cartwheels, now that is something that we could
wobble.
sell tickets to that.
Yeah, you could.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
I'd say a lot's happened since we gathered last. It's good to see you guys. Long weekend. Bo, welcome back.
Good to be back.
And
Good to be here.
got a new football coach. Boy.
Oh, yeah.
It all went down yesterday.
All the internet rumors are over.
Oh, my gosh. What are we going to do?
Fun rumors.
What are we going to do?
Yeah,
Now there's
now
no more search.
Now it's just reaction.
The
to
search is over.
the reality of the search. As we always say, you can have anybody you want when the search opens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then coaches have to pick places, and ADs have to pick coaches, and they have to, by the way, agree. You can't just get the guy that you want, and the guy that wants the job can't just have it. Whomever those people are in whatever scenario.
Man, it really happened fast, too. It really happened fast. Once, I guess, middle of the week, everybody began to figure out Kiffin was going to leave. And then all of a sudden in one day, you got Summerall to Florida, you got Golish to Auburn, you got Silverfield to Arkansas. And I'm telling you, if I'm a young coach, I'm trying to get a gig in the American Conference right now.
Or Penn State's still open.
Penn State's still open. You're right. You're right.
How'd that go? How has that gone?
Not the way they planned. But, seriously, you got 3 coaches in our league that are going to be out of the American Conference, all of whom are like $4 or $5 million richer than they were before. And I'm thinking, man, I want that job.
Yeah, $4.5 million.
I want to go to Tulane. I want to go to one of those places. I want to go to Memphis.
But you can only make like $2 million a year while you're there. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'll scrape by.
Yeah.
I'll scrape by.
It is a different time in college football with the way American athletic coaches are being pursued. And part of it is, if you want to look at schools that won in the coaching carousel here, how about Missouri? Keep and drink. A lot of us thought he'd probably jump to Florida, Auburn, wherever. There are not a lot of quote names
right.
like established head coaches out there having success that are available.
Well, they're already rich, number one, and so there's if you're a climber, how do you climb much higher than $10 million a year? That's one of those spots or one of those figures you get to, and it's like, my gosh, why would I ever think about leaving?
Yeah, Kiffin's getting what, $12 million a year at LSU?
At some point, we do have to get past all the fascination with the coaching movement and talk about the fact that a coach left his team in the middle of a playoff run. And every single one of those kids that bought into everything he was preaching have now been left without their head coach. At some point, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but I don't really care, Chuck. They're all getting paid.
Well,
they all got paid to go there.
I hear that.
That's not.
I
like
understand what you're
money,
saying.
and they're all leaving whenever they want.
But
that's
I hear
the system.
You. But it's a bad system.
It is a horrible system.
It's a bad system.
But it's the one that was created.
I'm not saying that Lane Kiffin didn't have some justification in what he's doing. And I'm not saying this is bad commentary necessarily on him, but at some point, this has got to be dealt with.
100%.
At some point, this must be dealt with.
And I'm tongue-in-cheek. I do care about the players.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying.
They're
I
all
do.
Getting paid, too. It's just a crazy.
They ain't getting paid what Lane Kiffin's getting paid.
No, they're not. It's a crazy situation, and it's the one Arkansas could have found itself in if you had gotten Lane Kiffin 6 years ago. Now, would you take it? Yeah, but let's just imagine being in that position where you're about to go to the playoff and he's leaving to go to LSU.
I know that's not the topic today. I know it's not. I know it's not.
It is nationally. It's
no question nationally.
But all of it's reacting to what happened in
crazy
with the
weekend.
coaching vacancies. And, yeah, I mean, I think Arkansas was probably headed towards goalish middle of the week. And then Auburn became available because Summerall was going to Florida. And and you knew Kiffin was probably about to leave, so these guys started making their choices or slow playing it to really kind of follow what was going to happen with him. And Golesh was no longer an option, and so then it's Silverfield. And to me, what's interesting is the reaction to Silverfield that was negative yesterday on social media, which, by the way, especially on Twitter, it just trends towards negative. But I did find it interesting that all the reaction that I could find was so negative. And then Ryan Silverfield recorded a video on Twitter, put on the Razorback Twitter account, and all the reactions by and large were positive. And I was like, well, that's really interesting. Just think about that. Some guy reports whoever it is, whatever the news outlet, pick one. It doesn't matter. Negative reactions. Silverfield gets on there, records a video, mostly positive reactions. And I think part of this, too, is it's just a popularity contest. What do I know about somebody that I can hang my hat on? And wins or sustained wins? Because here's the thing. If you look at Silverfield's tenure at Memphis and you compare it to Alex Golesh, Silverfield has more accomplishments and has done it for longer. However, it doesn't feel exciting. Why? I guess it's because people thought that they knew who the coach was going to be.
That's
and
part
it changed.
of it. That is part of it.
But from a resume standpoint,
well, see, I hear you. I think last week this was just my take on how things developed last week. I think there's been some realization for a while that the Razorbacks' new coach was not going to be what we would categorize as a name coach, a media star. I think we all came to realize that it was probably going to be a coach from the American Conference. It was going to be that group: Silverfield, Golesh, Summerall. It was going to come from Morris. It was going to come from that group. And we kind of convinced ourselves that Golesh was the best of that four. We don't know a lot about any of them, just to be honest. We kind of convinced ourselves Golesh was going to be okay. There were reports out there that it was imminent, that it was happening, that it was done, and that, we kind of, we're good with it. His wife's from Arkansas. We'll be all right. And then all of a sudden it's like, what? Yeah. I told all my friends it was going to be Golesh. Yeah. And then it's not. I may be wrong, and I may be generalizing, and I'll admit I probably am. But from a national perspective, Summerall, Morris, Silverfield, Golesh, they're all kind of one and the same. They're all coaches out of the American Conference. And all of these schools are kind of betting. They're betting on the come, so to speak, that, one of these guys is going to really be great. And we've placed our bet with Silverfield.
Well, I think the other part, too, is there's just this other idea, that Hunter Yurachek can't get a good football hire, and this hasn't happened, and the NIL, the way it was presented, and all this, and so it's just another thing to be upset about. I would just challenge people to take a step back and really evaluate what it is exactly, if you're upset, that you're upset about. Ryan Silverfield's not a bad coach. You can't convince me that the guy's record, his track record, his resume suggests that he doesn't know what he's doing. This is that now. Every coach that's getting hired, the school is betting on the come. Like, you don't know how it's going to go there.
Sure.
And that's why the Kiffin hire was so popular, because he'd done so well at Ole Miss in the SEC, and he's going to a program that traditionally has more resources and obviously more national championships. So that feels like LSU won. Who else do you feel like really won? Virginia Tech with James Franklin? Maybe, but he was only winning at a certain level at Penn State. They got him fired. Now, you could say they're irrational. Every fan base is. At Penn State, maybe they were just irrational, but I don't expect James Franklin to do better at Virginia Tech than he did at Penn State. But you know what? Virginia Tech will take what he did at Penn State. And now Penn State is
so would pretty much
going
anybody.
to get, yeah. But my point is those guys just aren't available to hire. So you're going to get in all of these schools, Florida, Auburn, Arkansas, there is a gamble, and I don't know that you can make the argument, I mean, in a convincing way, that any one of those three guys is better than the other.
Well,
but we're reacting as though those two schools got the James Franklins and the Lane Kiffins, and you got the guy from Memphis.
Well,
that's how people are reacting.
I think there's the realization that there was Florida, Auburn, Arkansas. That was the pecking order. I think that's the way people are kind of viewing this. But I sort of think we knew that going in. When you look at the history of our program, and we don't, we've kind of forgotten our history, but when you really look at the history of our program, this follows the pattern we've always followed. We didn't know who Lou Holtz was when Coach Broyles hired him. Ken Hatfield came from Air Force. Houston Nutt came from Boise State. We've had many coaches that have made the jump up, so to speak, to Arkansas. And sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. But that's been our MO. Danny Ford had won a national championship, but Danny Ford was also out of coaching when he came here. And Brett Bielema had success at Wisconsin, but it never translated here. And so, good and bad, this has been our pattern. This is what we've done. And so every time this happens, there's a group of people that believes, well, it's going to be different this time. It's going to be different this time. We're going to get the star. We're at the bottom of the league, but the best coach out there is going to want to come coach us.
Well, the Cal hire didn't help any.
No, you're right. But we weren't at the bottom of the league in basketball.
That's true, too.
And Muss did a good job. Muss left that place better than he found it in terms of winning ball games and going into March. And so, that's a little bit – in fact, that's a very different situation. But if you really stop and think about it, I don't know why people are necessarily surprised. I do understand why people would want a star. I do understand that. Everybody wants that. But I don't really understand what they're mad about.
Well, we're about to find out.
I know that.
877
I'm aware of that.
377-6963. You can call or text the show. It is a Reaction Monday. We've been waiting on it for over 2 months. This reaction.
All right, here we go.
So here we go. It's 6:15. Good morning.
Oh, no, I don't want Lane Kiffin at LSU. I want weird stuff going on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds: professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com. When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
Chuck has thoughts. I want to have some coffee and let you guys roll for a while. This is going to be good.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
does the future look like? What does this week look like? And can you get yourself out of bed and just get rolling this morning with a smile on your face? Can you stare adversity in the eye?
Boy, you're asking a lot over there, man. I mean, with every question you're posing, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Razorback Nation, this is your new head football coach, Ryan Silverfield. Can't wait to get to Fayetteville and get started. We're going to bring a lot of success to the Hogs that's so well deserved. Can't wait to see you. Go Hogs.
There he is. That was what they posted from his home yesterday when they made the official announcement. And Ryan Silverfield will join us on the show at 7:15.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
In the meantime, we're going to hear what you think about it. 877-377-6963. The Morning Drive, driven by Drive DSI. DriveDSI.com, Arkansas Distribution Solutions. If you're a truck driver, you're looking for a great place to work, great place to drive, log on to drivedsi.com and learn about all their benefits and so much more. David's in Searcy. David, you're up first. Good morning.
Thanks, guys. It's a real honor to be up first today. I'd just like to say that, good Lord, guys, it's great to hear you again. It's like your best friend all your life just sold his house next door and moved to Connecticut or somewhere. The coffee tastes better this morning. The chores are easier. My attitude is better.
Wow.
So thanks, guys.
Well,
We love you, too.
Think about us.
Well, listen, guys, you've really spoiled us, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
First of all, I could talk about a lot of things, but I know a lot of people want to talk, so I'm not going to talk about the Harding Bisons or the fact that the Cowboys are finally they finally have a defense.
They're white hot.
And well, actually, we can look back on this season and
Edwards
say, well,
Chiefs.
we did beat Philadelphia. We did beat Patrick Mahomes.
You got to speed it up
there.
Speed it
So
up.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Who cares?
Let me say real quick,
Go
and I'll
Chiefs.
get off of here. I had finally narrowed my choices down to Coach Morris, simply because air raid, baby. That's he's a disciple of Mike Leach, and I thought, man, that's the guy I want. Well, he was one of the first guys gone, so there. And now Coach Silverfield, look at this. He's 5-1 against Morris, Golish, and Sumrall. The last 3 years, he's 29-9. That's okay with me. I'm fired up. Bring it on, baby. Have a great day, guys.
All right, David, thanks for the call. Appreciate you. 877-377-6963. Brent in Searcy, go ahead.
All right, Chuck and Bo. Great to hear you and Chuck on the radio today, Bo. I'm just telling you. I've already had my heater today. I'm fired up.
What are your thoughts, Brent? What do you think?
This is a grand slam hire. I love it for the Razorbacks. The best coach we possibly could have gotten, Chuck Barrett.
Say more. Tell us. Tell us why.
I'm going to tell you why I like Ryan Silverfield. First of all, he's got NFL coaching experience. He embraces the transfer portal and NIL. At Memphis, he had a roster this year of 78 new players. So obviously, he knows how to evaluate talent. Another thing that gets me so fired up about Coach Silverfield, he's already got experience recruiting in the state of Arkansas with Arkansas coaches. And I tell you what, that's something we so desperately need, a head coach that gets the state of Arkansas in recruiting. And I just cannot be more proud for Coach Silverfield as a friend and everything like that. I could not be happier with the hire for the Razorbacks.
Well, Brent, I know you guys have talked to him before, Bray Cook and Jeff Williams and all you guys that do that Coaches in the Mouth podcast. And I think one of the interesting things about this will be how people feel once they hear from him, once they get to know him a little bit, once they see how he is. Right now, it just seems like a popularity contest. That's the very surface level of what we have. And so thanks for the insight on your thoughts. David in Japton, good morning. David, it's the Chuck and Bo Show. Abraham in Seattle, go ahead.
Hello. I saw on Twitter that like a lot of people didn't like the hire. So do you think that relieves a lot of pressure on him for his first season, or you think it puts more pressure on him on proving himself?
Well, I
That's
think
a good question.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think, Chuck, I'm glad he brought this up. I think what it does is it puts more. It's more of a challenge to go get players. I've heard from so many coaches in multiple sports over the years that fans don't believe this, but all of the negative comments that families, recruits, parents, other coaches see on social media from a fan base is used in recruiting. And it can affect whether a player wants to come to your state and play football. You know, whether it puts more pressure on the coach to win games. I mean, I don't know, maybe. But it certainly doesn't help anything.
Well, it adds to the pressure. I don't think there's any doubt, and that just comes with the territory. Because you said this a little bit earlier, there are not an abundance of fan bases out there that are just overjoyed with their new coach, because we don't live in that kind of world anymore. I mean, we're looking for things to pick at right away, and so I think it does add to the pressure some. And yes, it makes recruiting a challenge. I think the first thing Ryan Silverfield's got to do is re-recruit that roster, because a lot of those guys, if they stay, will become his recruiters. If you're going to raid the portal, which Arkansas is going to have to do, the guys on your squad have got to be recruiters for you. So I want to see how he does in that regard. To me, that's the most important thing, because he's got a quarterback.
The right guys.
He's got a quarterback that he needs to keep. And there's
going
to be a lot.
Quarterback, Quincy Rhodes. There's a handful of other guys.
And there's going to be a lot of people coming after him. So you better circle the wagons first thing this morning, and I think he probably has.
Is who's he bringing with him?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, they had a decent Memphis squad. 877-377-6963. We're brought to you in part by First Security Bank, the official bank of the Chuck and Bo Show, because they're all about helping Arkansans bank better every day. They've got their big business figured out. Convenient locations all over the state. Friendly local banking is how you bank better. First Security Bank, member FDIC. It's 6:28. We have snow in the forecast today.
Yeah. It's cold.
Allegedly.
Freezing
Bart's weather
rain.
forecast, entirely too cold. High of 35.
Hello, Bart.
I like it when Bart delivers the weather in an organic, real, authentic way.
That's what people want to know.
That's
it's entirely
that's
too
the
cold.
Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah.
It fits right in. Back in a minute with more of your thoughts. Chuck has a little bit of a bad habit of getting on Facebook and buying things.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag is still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Friends, I'd like to introduce you to Woodhouse Spa Rogers. It's the kind of place you go to relax. Get a tea, signature mimosa, glass of champagne. You get treated like a king or a queen for a while. Woodhouse Spa Rogers is a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And for the holidays, what a great gift idea. Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. The gift of truly relaxing. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. This is not interesting. It's just interesting to us.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been brain dead for 2 days. Like some people would argue much longer.
Well,
but I mean,
it's been
personal
noticeable.
standards.
It's been noticeable, really, the last couple of days.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas's new head coach will join us at 7:15. We'll hear from Clay Henry at 7, get his thoughts, and then Ryan Silverfield at 7:15. Taking your calls in the meantime.
The people.
Fresh off of Thanksgiving week. What are you thankful for? William and Lafayette. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving.
We did. Hope you did
Wonderful.
too.
Thank you.
Chuck, if you recall, I know you've had a lot of calls, but I called in last week and we kind of visited exactly on what you talked about. And if you look at our history and look at the coaches we hired, and I challenge everybody to do it, and just look at the preceding year they had before they were hired as the Razorback head coach. Oftentimes, I think, as a fan base, we have delusions of grandeur, right? In Baton Rouge, there's a lady that lives under the bridge holding a toilet bowl brush that thinks she's the Queen of England. But reality is she lives under a bridge holding a toilet bowl for us.
Wow.
And I don't mean that to take a slight at anybody.
I don't mean it ugly.
Okay? I don't. I'm just putting it into perspective and offering some reality.
Hey, Chuck knows her. Anyhow.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
But if you don't mind, I'd like to use your show as a platform. Welcome, Coach Silverfield, your family. The video that resonated with me was when his wife and his 2 small children were there, and the excitement and pride they had on their face. That man is the coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and these fans that are showing their butts need to be embarrassed. That man's going to bring his family. He's going to try to hire a staff that will bring their families to Fayetteville, Arkansas, to represent us. And you want to act like that? You need to take a long look. Look at your Christmas tree and think about your families, okay? With that being said, give the man a chance. Let's hear his plan. Let's see what his vision is. And I mean, are you not going to support the Razorbacks? I know that's not the case. Quit throwing a fit. Have some patience. Go Hogs. Welcome, Coach Silverfield, and let's have a good holiday season. Thank y'all very much.
Thanks, William. William's like a guy you could sit down and have dinner with.
Yeah, he's like a
breath of
rational
fresh
human
air.
being.
JR in Fort Smith. Good morning.
Shady Grove.
Shady Grove. What's up, JR?
We'll go there, too.
Hey, little holiday lag there on your part, Bo. That's okay.
It's all Bo's
It
fault.
was my fault.
It's all
It
my
was my
fault.
fault.
No, I want to take it. I want to take it. Boss.
Okay. No, I'm just giving you a little grief. I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Hope you did too.
You know what? I think I'm excited about it, but I just want to point out a couple of things. And I like Bob Petrino. You know what? And I thought he's a great offensive mind. There's no doubt about it. But that Memphis game when we played them, and everybody says, well, we lost on a fluke, on a fumble. If you think about it, consistently throughout the season, our football games, our offense could do nothing in the second half. It shouldn't come down to that. It shouldn't have come down to the fumble. I mean, we were up on them. What were we up on? 17 points? But that's been the whole gist of these games that we've played in this year. Second half, Saturday, did we score any points in the second half?
No.
We didn't, did we?
No.
And that's just the whole thing. I don't know if his defense make adjustments. I'm not looked into it. I don't have time to look in to see all that stuff. I mean, I don't have time to look at that. I'm excited that the slate has been wiped clean. There's no baggage, starting from clean. I'm excited about the hire. So y'all have a good day. Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Good to hear
JR.
from you. Appreciate the call. All right, Melvin's in Sheridan. Melvin, good morning. Chuck and Bo show. Man,
Melvin.
that was rough.
That was.
Heath and Cabot.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Heath, good
Chuck
morning.
and Bo show.
Good morning. Listen, let me just give you a little bit of perspective.
Please.
This guy was in what, the AAC? That's what conference he was in?
American Athletic Conference.
Okay, and you can't win a title there, but you think Kiffin, you think LSU got a great hire in Kiffin? Because he never won a conference championship or a national title either, so as a head coach. So, I mean, I guess you could spin the narrative any way you look at it. I think Arkansas was probably in a sit and wait, take what you can get situation. I mean, they were the first to let Pittman go, and then they had to sit back after everybody else started firing their coach. So, but the gentleman that called before, he's right. The guy's bringing his family. It's a fresh start. It's a new start. I mean, one thing he can say is he's got a win over Arkansas. So that's a notch on his belt. But you know, this is just typical Arkansas. I mean, it's what they do. So we won't really know until he starts coaching and next season hits. But you know, let's just hope it works out, gentlemen. I hope you had a great holiday. Mine was fantastic. This cold weather's here. It's awesome. So just enjoy it.
Thank you, Heath.
I appreciate it.
Hey, you know, one thing that, and I'm just asking the question, I've not broken it down. Maybe Bart can. Are these schools that fired coaches mid-season, did they get ahead of the game? Or could they have done it on Saturday and still gotten the same guy? I mean, you think about Arkansas, you think about Auburn, you think about Florida, you think about all these other schools that fired guys mid-season, And everyone said, oh, they're getting ahead of the game. They're getting ahead of the game. Nothing happened until people realized Wednesday Kiffin was going to leave. So, I mean, you appease your fan base, and that's really what you do when you fire a guy midseason. Because, I mean, look, let's be honest. Arkansas could have hired Ryan Silverfield whenever they fired Sam Pittman. They could have fired him Saturday and hired Silverfield yesterday, in all probability. And admittedly, I'm generalizing there, but my point is I wonder how many of these schools that thought they were getting ahead of the game, so to speak, really were.
Well, being ahead of the game is being ahead of Penn State right now. That didn't work for them. Virginia Tech maybe got a little bit ahead, but I think that was a unique situation.
You can say Virginia Tech for sure, yes.
But I hear you on being ahead of the game. But right now, you are ahead of the game if you have your head coach. You're behind the game if you don't. And this was the week or the weekend that it was all going to happen. Kind of to your point. To Heath's point, I mean, you have to hand this to Ryan Silverfield. It is a boss move to beat a guy, to get him fired, and then come take his job a couple months later.
Well,
I mean, you have to say that. How many times you see that? I'm going to beat you, cost you your job, and I'm going to sit in your office in 2 months. That's what happened. Ryan's in Hot Springs. Ryan, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm probably in the minority here on the callers you're going to take, but I was actually that's actually who I wanted. After the way they beat us, the way they, I know we air quote gave the game away, but they grinded out a game, found a way to stay in a game, and just kind of waited for their moment to strike, and they got it. But and it's crazy that everybody was okay with going and getting Golish, but there's a problem with going and getting a guy that's beaten Golish 3 out of 3 times. And here's the other thing that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. They're aggravated about a guy that couldn't win the American Conference, but probably if I had to guess, out of the group of 5, the last probably 5 or 6 years, that's had to have been one of the most competitive conferences in FBS for the group of 5. I mean, you've got UTSA, you've got Memphis, you've got North Texas. The list goes on and on of these teams that have had their moments in the sun that were legitimately good teams. That if we'd done the 12-team playoff, would have had legitimate shots of being in that playoff. So I don't understand the hate of and he's the third winningest coach in FBS since 2020. So I mean, I feel like he's got a pretty good resume myself.
Yeah, I don't think you can look at the resume and say you got a bad coach. I don't again, we're talking about Golish and Summerall, like James Franklin and Lane Kiffin, and Arkansas ended up with Ryan Silverfield. I mean, he's done it over a sustained period of time at Memphis. He's done more than Golish has. He's done more than Summerall has in terms of like beating Power 4 teams, those types of things. This is about popularity, in my opinion. It's just about people wanting to feel excited today. The problem with that is I would just encourage people like think more about it. Like it's just Seth and Rogers just texted in. So does this mean we're not getting Gruden? I mean, it's a great text. It is a great text, and nobody wanted to hear it, and it wasn't because of any reason. Then this is just how we saw it. But we talked about it for 2 months. You don't listen to all of this stuff on the internet. It's not real. It's just not real.
It's this has been interesting to kind of watch not just this search unfold, but a lot of these searches. But we've been through many of these before. This is the first one we've gone through in the misinformation era. 6 years ago, I know there was misinformation out there, but it wasn't like it is now. And I don't mean people being wrong necessarily. I mean all the AI-generated stuff, all the things that people can do now to make fiction seem like fact. And it was harder to differentiate this time.
There's more to it also, I believe. Well, maybe we'll get into later, just how information is now. And it really is, everything's about popularity. So like on social media, it's about if you have a show, I see people riding the wave, feeding what people that follow them or what will get likes, just feeding that. Not, hey, here's the reality, or here's what's really going on, or here's all the sides. We talk about it all the time. And I'm not saying we always get it right, but we attempt to give you a full picture. Not just this one little piece of like, oh, Hunter sucks because he can't get Gruden, which I'm not sure Gruden would be a good hire, to be honest with you. It would just be really exciting. We'll take more calls coming up at 6:46. Good morning. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Woodhouse Spa is making the holidays easier and more relaxing. Give the gift of calm. Woodhouse delivers a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. You can pick them up online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Or if you go in person and spend $250 or more, you'll receive a special holiday gift while supplies last. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
6:52. It's the Chuck and Bo Show, Reaction Monday. Dan is in CrossFit. Dan, good morning. What's happening?
Dan was there. Now Dan's gone.
Melvin, we already had Melvin, right?
No, he called back. He wants another shot.
Melvin, go ahead.
I apologize, guys. The phones are kind of cutting in and out down this way today. I ain't messed up about the coach. I want him to do well. But, Hunter got played in my mind. Hunter needs to go. He's not a good AD. He wasn't behind the NIL, and I don't think he's got that NIL stuff caught up. He kind of led to my negativity on the NIL because he wasn't real for it and wasn't behind getting done.
What in God's name is going on in Sheridan?
If Radio Shack was a person and called the show, that was like all of Radio Shack wadded up into something that phoned in.
My goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, I hear I've heard this. Hunter got played or Hunter didn't do this. I think Hunter ran an exhaustive search. I talked to 25 coaches.
Well,
interviewed 8, including Petrino. Got down to the group that everybody wanted. All the same people were the hottest names available to hire. And I'm talking about who Auburn wanted, who Florida wanted. If Kiffin didn't leave, LSU's in there. They're going to be hiring one of those guys, most likely. And could have gotten Golesh, but this guy's beaten Golesh before Auburn opened up. I mean, I don't know how that's getting played. That guy's just waiting on that job to see if it opens. You're not going to tell him he doesn't have 2 days in the middle of the week. I mean, it was never going to be fully decided until Sunday.
Coaching searches have gotten ADs in trouble before over the years, all over the country. It's a tough deal. It is a tough deal because it is virtually impossible to please your fan base in a coaching search unless you hire the coach everybody wants. And you talked about it a little bit earlier. There's 1, maybe 2 fan bases right now that are happy. LSU fans are ecstatic. Virginia Tech fans, they're ecstatic. They traded up. Everybody else is like, man, I don't know about our athletic director. I mean, John Gruden wouldn't even talk to him. Seriously, and I'm being a little facetious there, but I know where our fan base is on that. It's where most fan bases are when they don't get the biggest star in the game to be their coach. And being an AD during a coaching search and at an SEC school, that is one tough task. Because most people, when it's all over, are going to be down on you. Well, and that's just the reality of it.
And the other reality is it's your hire. And so Hunter's job depends on hiring coaches. And nobody's got more at stake on this hire perhaps than he does.
This fall, don't just pay for a heating tune-up. Make it part of a Paschal membership and get year-round benefits for your home. For as low as $8.99 a month, your annual tune-up is included. Plus, members get exclusive discounts on air, plumbing, and electric services. Don't wait until there's a problem. Protect your home, budget, and peace of mind with Paschal. Visit GoPaschal.com to learn more and join today. And Razorback fans, we've got exciting news. Paschal is now proud to be the official air, plumbing, and electric provider of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time Hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more. They carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mengarelli are the real deal, two of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes, and now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
For Chuck Barrett, I'm Bo Mattingly. Good morning. Hey, kids, how about a bagel?
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
We've got to have a therapist come in here and just help us work through the past and how today doesn't have to be yesterday.
We do shows like this to avoid discussions like that. So let's just keep that out of the workplace, okay? That defeats the entire purpose of even being here. I'm as deep as I want to get in this room. Let me just tell you, I'm not going any deeper with you guys. I'm not playing your little self-help game. I'm not doing that.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm in my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
New coach has been hired, Ryan Silverfield, Memphis.
9 weeks of build-up, and finally it's done.
His resume includes a pair of 10-plus win seasons in 23 and 24, and bowl eligibility in all 6 years he was there. He's got a pretty good track record against the other coaches that were in the mix and went to, Auburn, for example, Alex Golesh. He's 2-0 against Eric Morris, who went to Oklahoma State. He was 3-0 against Golesh.
He did a good job at Memphis.
He beat the last 4 Power 4 teams he's played.
I think the question for people now is, is he going to do it here? And I realize that people, wanted the media star. But look, give the guy a chance. If he fails, there's going to be plenty of time to say, I told you so. And I know people will be lining up to do that.
Clay Henry's a Hall of Famer. He's been covering coaching searches and Razorback athletics for a long time. And you can read him now at wholehogsports.com. He's joining us at 7:03 here on a Monday morning. Clay, what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I enjoyed the search because I wasn't participating. I was just listening to you guys.
Merely an observer.
Reading it. That's it. I mean, I was telling somebody at dinner last night. I go back 30-something years ago when I covered coaching searches for the Tulsa World, and I remember one basketball season when we covered ORU, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, OU, and 5 of the 6 jobs were open. And I was trying to, and then some of the coaches, they were going from one school to the other, and that wasn't helping. That filled a job, but it opened up another. But I thought everybody did a nice job, and it looked like from the word go that there was a pool of about 5 or 6 guys that are all about the same, and as far as their records, their resumes, and you could, and everybody had their favorite, and because of that, there were some people that were unhappy, but it wouldn't have mattered which one of these guys had been hired. You would have had the same result. It would have been a different set of guys, percentage that were happy or on the opposite side, unhappy. But I think the kind of cool thing about this whole thing is that we got to see him. And we got to see him, just put it to us in a way that might have just destroyed the season. It was that devastating of a blow, and just, one of the great comebacks in Memphis football history. And if you go back to that day, I think that a lot of the Arkansas fan base would have said, yeah, that'd be our guy. Didn't know then that day the job was going to be open as soon as it was. And then it was all this tracking stuff, like did y'all say it was 9 weeks? Is that what it was? And it was the flavor of the day. Somebody would do a feature on one of these guys. Oh, he's got a wife from Arkansas, or something like that. That happened on 2 of these guys, right?
Yeah, at least one.
But I think it's in. I think we're in a learning curve right now. I think everybody's just okay. He's the coach now. Let's dig in. And I did that last night. I knew a little bit But I really, started to dig in last night, and the more I really like his background as far as offensive line, defensive line. Having worked in both areas, he's got NFL experience, he's got college experience, he's been in this area. So we'll see, and it's and there's one way to find out. You line them up and you look for wins, and get the right wins. Everybody's going to be happy. It seems I made a few calls last night or yesterday afternoon, and it seems like the right people, and I think some of the right people were plugged in on the search. By that I mean, somebody like Kevin Scanlon, who's right in the heartbeat of the biggest money area of our state, which is Stevens Inc. He was involved. Is Kevin president of the Razorback Foundation? Is that his role?
Chairman of the board, I think.
Chairman of that board. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's the title. Yeah. And I have a lot of respect for Kevin. He was played golf down at Lotion with him, and you get to spend. You play golf with somebody, you get to know him, and we sat and talked about a lot of things, including Arkansas football. And I'm glad that he was involved, and it gives me a lot of confidence in how this thing turned out.
Biggest key, Clay. We're short on time. We got the new coach coming up. Ryan Silverfield will join us here in just a few minutes. What do you think the biggest key from this point today forward is for him to be able to have success?
Discipline and accountability to the details, leadership. Those are the biggest keys. And, restoring that defense. I thought, and I'll be real quick. I watched that game Saturday, and the difference in the game was tackling. Arkansas just did not tackle. That's been the theme all year. Missouri tackled. Open field tackles. They got guys down.
I agree.
And that's what I want to see fixed. And, you can get into all the details, play calling, and you don't need to be in this system. Just, man, you got to tackle. And that's what I hope gets fixed.
Clay, good stuff. Good to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I'll be listening to y'all. Good with this interview. I look forward to it.
Oh, thank you. Ryan Silverfield's coming up next. We make so much out about it's just like a lazy, easy thing to say, and I'm as guilty of it as anyone about the money and NIL and the portal, and you got to have more money, and all that stuff is a factor. But if you can't tackle, none of it matters.
Yeah, boy, that's the truth.
And if you don't have discipline and you don't take care of the ball, none of it matters. Like, I don't care if you're Ohio State. You might be able to overcome some more of that, but you're not going to win. We've forgotten about, how to win football games, and we just talk about money in the portal.
How about no penalties? Well, maybe not no penalties, but less than double digits. How about that?
Silverfield's got a reputation for being disciplined, low on penalties, turnover plus margin.
Discipline is how you play on the field. It's not yelling in the locker room. You're just a yeller. Discipline is how you display yourself on the field. It's no penalties. It's taking care of the ball. It's tackling. That's discipline. We get confused on what a disciplinarian really is.
Ryan Silverfield, Arkansas's new head coach, next on the Chuck and Bo Show. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
that's
we don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
There's simply not a better shopping experience than Macadoodles. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered. With an unbeatable selection, amazing prices, and service that's unbeatable, they've got everything you need. Whether you're stocking up for a party, updating your bar, or just grabbing your favorites, Roger and the team are always there to help. Make the smart choice. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
He's Chuck Barrett.
He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
One thing, but listen, what a great show. The best sports show in the state is, no doubt, the Chuck and Bo Show. No doubt about it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The formal announcement's been made. Ryan Silverfield is the new head coach at Arkansas, 50-25, including 29 wins over the last 3 years at Memphis. He's beaten the last 4 Power 4 teams he's played, including Arkansas earlier this year. And Coach is joining us now here on the Chuck and Bo Show. Coach, welcome to Arkansas. Thanks for hopping on with us this morning.
Welcome, Coach. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate it. Couldn't be more fired up to be on with you guys. And it's been a whirlwind, and it's been a blessing, and so damn excited to get this thing started.
Coach, what do these first few days look like to try to get things headed in the right direction as you enter the job?
Yeah, listen, no rest for the weary. We've been hitting the grindstone the minute I landed, even the minute I signed that contract. It's been full-blown press. We're going to put together one of the best signing classes in Arkansas history, and we're going to be able to do that in a 3-day period. I think the fans are going to be blown away by the type of young men that we're going to get to come here, the type of character and the type of players to get this place back to where it needs to be. So it's been nonstop high school recruiting. Already had a great team meeting with the young men here. Listen, they're yearning to win. They deserve to win. It's my job and our staff's job to show them how to do it and put them in the right place with the correct structure. So team meeting, I'm going to be meeting with players all day. The current roster, I've been watching practice film of these guys, some of these guys that haven't played, to see what this thing looks like, building the roster, building out the staff, and ultimately putting together an entire program that's going to make this great state so damn proud.
Coach, we obviously saw your team in September. Pretty good that day. What's the identity of a Ryan Silverfield team? What are the hallmarks of your program?
Yeah, it's always got to start with, a physical football team. In the SEC, you can't be soft mentally or physically. Every time we line up, people are going to say, man, those guys play really hard. And I think you guys, Arkansas fans, got to see that when we had the chance to line up in Memphis. But ultimately, listen, a bunch of dudes that love football, they're going to be flying around, that are passionate to play the game the right way. We're going to put up points, right? It's been kind of a hallmark of what we've been able to do the last 10 years. We're going to keep my offense intact, and that's what we're going to run here. We know what we got to do defensively, continue to step things up. But, man, we're going to fly around. We're going to be attacking in everything we do. We're going to have a smart football team. Just watching some of those things, we got a lot to improve upon. But here's the deal. People are going to sit in the stands. People are going to put us on TV and say, holy smokes, that's what Arkansas football should look like. That's what it's all about. Man, we've been waiting for that, and I cannot. I mean, listen, they won't allow us to go kick off the season opener right now, but if I had my druthers, man, we'd be teaching plays on the sideline and drawing plays up in the grass, and let's go.
Hey, you mentioned you met with a team, and a lot of us saw the video of that. In the transfer portal era, how do the young men you visited with last night, how did they figure into your plans as you try to put this thing together and get it off the ground?
Well, it always starts with the current roster, right? Listen, I was fortunate enough to coach in the NFL for 7 years, so this roster building, this whole world that we're entering, as everybody says, this NFL model, this free agency model, is it starts with, okay, let's retain the guys that we think can help us win championships here. And I know we've got plenty of talent on this roster. I also know there's work to be done. And so there's no knock on what has occurred here. It's my job to get this thing fixed, and we will. So, it starts ultimately, hey, is this kid the right fit for what we want to do schematically? Is this kid the right fit for what we want to do from a culture standpoint? And then, look, when it's all said and done, do those pieces meet what we want to get done here day in and day out? And so not only just watching the film, but sitting down face-to-face, eye-to-eye with these guys and saying, okay, ultimately, what do you want? Here's what I want. Does it make sense? And if it does, we'll retain quite a bit of the roster because I think the guys are excited. In fact, I've known probably, a third of this roster from having recruited them. A lot of them had been on that campus out in Tennessee where I used to be. And, I've had relationships with a lot of these guys. So some familiar faces. But listen, we're going to find the best fit in the pieces as we move along. And we know we're going to have to be aggressive, not only in high school recruiting, but when the portal window opens up in January.
Arkansas head football coach Ryan Silverfield with us. Coach, I know you know some history of Arkansas, and Arkansas has never won an SEC championship. They've had some great years. They've been in SEC championship games. They've had a 10-win season, but to a lot of fans, that feels like a distant memory. When you talk championships, I think people hear that, and then they think, well, can we ever do that? And I wonder what you see in the Arkansas opportunity that makes you so excited about this job.
Yeah. Listen, I was very fortunate, even over the last few years, and it's, again, credit to the great people of Memphis that, the players that poured in, that there was other opportunities for head coaching jobs throughout this country. And I've always admired this job. I think it's obviously a premier job in the country. I think it's the best job in the country. The people of this great state love it. And it couldn't be more thrilled. So when this opportunity was presented, it was a no-brainer. Ultimately, the chance to be here and to develop the talent. But listen, the fans deserve winning. And this is not one of those things, yes, you have to build a program. Yes, you have to build a roster. But it can be done quickly. This is not one of those we're going to sit here and say, hey, guys, give me 3 years and we're going to get this thing turned around. No, we're going to do that right now. Okay, there's no waiting around. I don't want Hawk fans to sit there and say, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to develop a lot of great high school talent, especially a local talent that we're going to keep in this state. But, look, when it's all said and done, the goal is to win SEC championships and to compete and to get to the playoffs and do those things at a high level. There's so many resources here. And I always say this, it starts with the great fans here. I mean, they're so passionate about football. That's our number one tool in recruiting. And then, listen, we'll develop these guys. We'll get them the right way and retain them. And listen, before too long, we'll be competing for championships. I can promise you that.
I know football's football, right? You got to block and you got to tackle. But I think different environments for different states, different areas, maybe create a little bit of a different opportunity the way you actually kind of described it there. What do you have to do to win at Arkansas? You don't have the biggest state. You don't have the biggest recruiting base, so to speak. I know the portal's changed all that. But from what you were build on what you were talking about, what do you have to do to win at Arkansas?
For sure. It's going to start with developing talent, right? I think when it's all said and done, 28 years ago when I first got started in this profession, there was no transfer portal, there was no NIL, there was no rev share, even so much so when I first became a head coach. And so to this day and age, you still have to coach, you still have to develop, you still have to build young men the right way. And so here we're going to bring in the right type of guys that we're going to be able to develop, that we're going to be able to get to buy into the culture. We're going to have to outcoach a lot of people. But listen, the cupboard's not bare, right? We got a lot of great players on this roster. We got players in the state. We got a lot of people that are already excited on other rosters to come here and be a part of this thing. So listen, it's going to start with developing the talent and then going out there and playing harder than everybody else, outcoaching everybody else. And when it's all said and done, we'll have a winning product.
One of the realities, coaches, resources in this day and age, do you feel like that you've got what you need?
Hell yes. And guess what? We absolutely do. We've got more than enough. If there's something I need, I'm going to be knocking down doors all throughout the people of Arkansas. If they randomly see me, I'm not selling encyclopedias. I'm knocking down doors and not just selling season tickets, but let's go. We got to find them. If we need a little bit more, we're going to go find it. But listen, this place has everything we need, and there's going to things that we've already changed. I was walking through the building last night. The lovely employees here they're going to be burning the midnight oil. There's things that we're already going to get changed as quickly as possible that we can get done in the building, and I already have some ideas on the way we're going to structure things from a practice standpoint, all those things to give us an advantage. But we've got the resources. Obviously, there's so many people that support and love the Razorbacks. And listen, I think that's just going to, as continue people to get to meet me, the staff and these players, I think that passion is going to get ignited again, and people are going to be really damn excited about what we're going to do.
You talked, Coach, about how quickly you're going to move here. What about staff? How much staff have you brought with you? Do you have with you? I mean, I know sometimes when you take a new job, it's maybe you and one person trying to figure it all out for a few days. What's that process look like? When do you think things will be put together for you?
Yeah, listen, there's obviously a lot of things going on behind closed doors, and a lot of things are being put together behind the curtains. So we're going to have a lot of the staff in place. My guess is within a week. There's people that are excited and that are jumping at the bit. You can imagine. It was pretty interesting. I even told Hunter, you guys remember that when that fake news broke about a month ago that from some random fan that I had already accepted the job and, was resigning from Memphis the next day. And the number of coaches, the number of people that said, I want to join you. And I was like, well, man, I can already tell this is when this thing does get offered. We're going to be able to put together one of the best staffs in the country. The staff is going to be something that the fans are going to love. They're going to appreciate. They're going to love this community. They're going to give back. They're going to be Arkansas people. And one of the things I think is going to be so fun is, a year from now, you guys are going to sit here and say, man, did you guys all grow up in Fayetteville? Did you guys all play at Arkansas? Like, you guys are so passionate about this thing. And the people that are going to love to be here, they're going to work their tail off to put on the product that fans so well deserve.
I do got to ask you before you get out of here, when a graphic like that comes up, and I mean, it looks so real. I mean, wild. Did your wife call you? Did you have to call home and say, no, that's not really true?
It was unique, right? And so we were 24 hours, probably 28 hours from kickoff of a game, and my cell phone, listen, it's pretty hectic for a head coach. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, 120 text messages on 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the day before games. Something's up. I was like, I hope everything's okay. And so I looked down at it, and I'm getting texts from general managers in the NFL, from coaches saying, I can't wait to join your staff. And I was like, man, it's all fake. And then my wife was getting blown up. And so I didn't think anything of it. And then I go into the team meeting the next morning, and my staff's like, listen, Coach, you've got to address this. I'm like, guys, nothing's real. Like, but it's part of it. And we had some distraught players, which is a good thing. That means maybe they care about me and give it, they want me to stay around. But it was unusual. I've never had to address leaving for a job literally 7 hours before kickoff. No excuses, no explanations. Listen, it all came to fruition. Sometimes maybe someone put that out there just to go ahead and get it out there in the universe. But, man, we couldn't be more thrilled that it's tried and true. We're here and getting to work.
No fake news here. This is the real deal. It's happening, and Ryan Silverfield is the new Arkansas coach. Hey, Coach, we saw that video of Katie, your wife, and your twin daughters. You guys all looked excited.
Yeah, listen, it's this is not a move where we're just like, okay, now this is a lifetime move, right? My girls, we're going to raise them. My family here in Fayetteville, we couldn't be more thrilled. Everybody talks about the great people of Arkansas, which I've known, right? I've recruited this state. I've been through here. The passion, the love, and the support we've already received has been fantastic. The fans are the best. I can't wait. If I wasn't behind a desk all day making recruiting calls and putting together this thing and watching players, I'd be out shaking hands throughout this great city and in this community. But I'll be out soon enough, and I cannot wait to meet. I want to meet all 5 million Razorback fans, and I want to shake everybody's hand and look them in the eye and tell them they're going to get my best. But, yeah, Katie and I and those twin girls, they'll be calling the Hogs here before too long.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best. We'll talk soon. I know Chuck and I will be seeing you throughout the week, but thanks for making time for us today.
Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely, guys. Thanks so much. Go Hawks.
Thank you. Ryan Silverfield, Arkansas's new head coach on the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll come back and react to that here in a moment. We're brought to you in part by Teamwork Roofing and Construction. The weather is always there, whether it's hot, cold, or, storming. You might need a new roof. And sometimes the timing's not always what you need it to be. Well, if you need a quote, if you got an insurance claim, make sure they're one of your quotes. You're going to get people that come in on time and on budget every time, communicate with you throughout the entire process. But the best part is they use certified crews and quality materials. So you're going to get a roof that lasts. And if it comes to a remodel, a rebuild, anything construction like that you need, Teamwork Roofing and Construction is here for you. Their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork. Almost 7:30 on the Chuck and Bo Show. I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Are you looking for tough, reliable equipment from people you can trust? WT Equipment is your local family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas. And yep, they're big-time Hog fans too. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and more, they carry the brands you know and trust to get the job done. Whether it's equipment or implements, WT Equipment has the tools you need, including a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment today.
Chuck, you've been around a while, and look, I don't mean that ugly, and Bo, you've been around not as long as Chuck.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
are you owning the day? Like, if you're not, at that point, it's still early enough to get your butt in gear, right?
Can I point something out here? It's okay to drag in the morning. It's okay. I mean,
You're not helping this.
I don't care. We're not a self-help show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right. Time for calls, more reaction. 877-377-6963. I do want to thank Coach Silverfield for hopping on with us, and I want to point this out too, Chuck. They could have. I'm sure they could have jammed in a news conference yesterday if they had to. But the way this is set up in terms of recruiting and the portal and getting a staff in, that's why. In large reason, they're having a news conference on Thursday. Normally, you'd have it right away. But I just wanted to point out, because some people have asked why they wait until Thursday. That's one of the reasons. Jerry, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah. Thanks for being on the show. You guys, I've seen the interview there. I really think he might do good, but we need something to fire our team up, and I think we need to get a lot more kids from Arkansas to play ball for us, because we got to get some heart up there instead of just seemed like the defense didn't have no fire. The secondary they're just kind of around. They just didn't play with a lot of fire. You know what I'm saying?
Look, this was a tough season. Yeah, there's no question.
It was a tough season, but I still think we could still win. We were so close so many times, and we just couldn't get it done. So hopefully this guy will come in and get us going. I know a lot of people are not happy with the hiring, but I believe we need to give the guy a chance. I sure appreciate him being on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'm interested to see, when they talk about in-state recruiting. This is one of the people in Arkansas have talked about this. Fans have talked about this. He talked about it when he was on here just a few moments ago. Not a lot of in-state kids. Is it because Arkansas is not recruiting them hard enough, or because they're not SEC level? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not a talent evaluator. One of the things that I think a football coach at Arkansas has got to do, and this is a hard ask, and you shouldn't have to ask, but you got to elevate the game. You got to be a great steward of the game. The way Van Horn has been with baseball, the way Eddie Sutton once was with basketball, the way Nolan Richardson was with basketball. You've got to elevate the game. If there is a problem in terms of, and problem's not the right word, but if there's not enough SEC caliber high school players coming out of Arkansas, well, one of the jobs of the Razorback coach, unfortunately, is coach the coaches. You got to elevate the game, and again, that's not fair, but I think that's part of getting this to where we want it to be. It's not just about Arkansas Razorback football. It's about Arkansas football in our state, from the time they start playing when they're in 6th grade until the time ultimately they go to college. The game needs an elevation, and I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that I think that's part of what the Razorback coach must do.
It's not even about being critical. You're on such a huge point there, Chuck. It's about the way you said it. It's about raising the game. And you know what? I don't know if you can raise the game in any state until the flagship head coach sets that standard.
You may be right.
You can be great high school coaches. There's great high school coaches all over our state, and they're doing a great job at their schools. But you're talking about the whole state. And part of that's being pulled up from the top, from the thing that's respected, admired, appreciated. When that coach walks on campus, people are glad he's there. Think back when, Houston Nutt gets a lot of credit for things, mostly the wins he had and the things that we remember the best stuff now, the SEC championship games. But he doesn't maybe get enough credit for starting spring football, for getting spring high school football started in our state.
That was a baby for him.
That was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
And it's things like that. There are different things, but I think Silverfield's ability to have relationships with all of these high school coaches, he's already put out. That was not a small thing, by the way. He already put out a video to the Arkansas High School Football Coaches Association.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, that's a big deal, and it's strategic.
he's recruited a lot of the places in Arkansas. I mean, he was the Memphis coach. He's recruited this state. I mean, he knows the back roads, and he'll be fine in that regard. I just want to see the point, and I think we all do, where, hey, there's a lot of football talent in Arkansas. And maybe there is now. I honestly don't know. Is it because Arkansas is not recruiting them or because they're not SEC level? I don't know the answer, but that's part of this guy's challenge.
877-377-6963. You've heard from the new head coach here this morning. If you missed it, you can catch it on demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park on YouTube or Spotify or podcast. It was at 7:15 this morning, so if you're listening to it on podcast later today, it'll be in the second episode of our 3 different episodes we put out each day, one for each hour. Rod's on I-40. We're reacting to what we heard and the news of Ryan Silverfield becoming the new Arkansas head coach. Rod, go ahead.
Yeah, I really like it. I could actually hear conviction in his voice. I haven't heard that since, well, Coach Holtz. I mean, he was a coach when I graduated high school. And Houston Nutt, you can elevate a player. You really can. There's more levels than one you play. I mean, I've played. You can actually really, really get up. If a coach, it all starts from the top. You have to really be convicted. I mean, I'm not ready to build a statue for him yet, but, we might print a couple of shirts. I mean, it's almost like he's from here. That's kind of weird, right?
He's lived right over the river. It's not like Memphis is in North Carolina. There's, he knows, he knows the lay of the land around here.
Yeah, we didn't get Franklin. We didn't get Golish. I mean, for God's sakes. But at least his name is not Morris. I mean, I know it's not fair to hold somebody from North Texas to that standard, but we'll see how it works out at OSU, right? We got to play them again pretty soon, maybe. I hope. We owe them one.
I mean, when you said we didn't get Golish, I just have to say, I don't care. Let's not act like Golish is some. Maybe he'll be a rock star.
Rod, you mentioned Golish and Franklin in the same breath.
I'm sorry.
The South Florida and Penn State jobs are a little bit different.
I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I was trolling you a little there. I mean,
it worked.
Hey, look on the bright side. It could be Lane Kiffin. He'd be gone in 5 years of memory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so he's leaving.
Everybody's got to find the right fit for them. And the interview I just heard was a good start to that. Now, that's all we have right now. I'm not here to make some prediction on this, but I like what I heard. I like what he's done. Like I mentioned, the coaches thing. I love his energy. And, you said it. I think fans want to hear the passion, and they want to hear the excitement, and they want to hear a coach that believes what they believe about their program, what it can be. And that's contagious. And from a personality standpoint, he might be second to only Cal right now on campus of somebody that can sell. You've talked about it, Chuck, for 2 months. Like one of the things that you got to do now as a head coach is you got to be a great salesman. Not just to players, but to donors, to fans, to the guy giving $5, to the guy giving $500,000.
You've got to have the common touch. It is so important. You've got to have the common touch. You've got to be able to go out to these towns, and you've got to be able to talk to people in a relatable way. He's off to a good start in that regard. Again, it's not like he's lived halfway across the world. He's lived across the river. He knows us. And that part of it, I'm not worried about at all.
Hey, if you're looking for a great gift for the holiday season, Woodhouse Spa and Rogers, their gift cards are as effortless as they are great. RogersWoodhouseSpas.com. You can go there and shop now, but if you go in and get your gift card, and maybe it's $250 or more, if you're going to spend that on a great, relaxing, customized spa experience for your loved ones, you're going to get a holiday gift too while supplies last. But you can also shop them at RogersWoodhouseSpas.com. Again, located in Rogers, Woodhouse Spa Rogers, a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs.
Chuck, you're not my significant other, although you could, say a little bit on the show. But I do think we should treat you to that.
To what now?
A customizable spa experience.
Yeah, that sounds great.
What now? He's drifting.
Earth to Chuck.
No,
come on.
He's putting his thoughts together.
I am. I was
Listen.
thinking about the next segment.
That's
I was thinking
game
ahead.
slipperage.
No, it's not game
it's not.
slipperage. Bo was taking care of his deal. I'm thinking about the next segment. I'm a step ahead.
It's a customizable spa experience, serviced to and tailored to your needs, Chuck.
Yeah.
You'll feel like a king. It's 7:45. Rogers Woodhouse Spa. Good morning. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Football season's here, and Flight by Yuengling is the light beer built for game days. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's a light beer, and only 95 calories. Flight raises the bar for what a light beer should be, and now it comes in a 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle and skinny cans. Perfect for tailgates, watch parties, or just kicking back after the game. Pick it up at your favorite store or ask your bartender. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeickerGriffin.com.
Imagine every sip and bite feels like you're celebrating the finer things in life. Chef Shiloh and the bartenders at Tusker's Tavern in Fayetteville have just dropped new menu items celebrating a cocktail culture and culinary craftsmanship. Daily happy hour, 5 to 6:30. 20% off wine by the glass and $5 local draft beer. And for fun, they've created Unhappy Hour, Monday through Wednesday from 9 to 11 p.m. with the same specials. It's Tusker's Tavern at the corner of Mission and Crossover in Fayetteville.
The nation's best home court advantage lives inside Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks are back inside the Basketball Palace of Mid-America, and Coach Calipari and the Hogs need you there and need you loud all season long. A limited number of single-game tickets are available right now. Just head over to ArkansasRazorbacks.com and purchase yours today.
I want to see you and Bart in the old three-legged race.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let me just...
The Chuck and Bo Show.
We, and I include myself in this, we like to think we know what we're talking about, but sometimes we do miss the mark. I mean, sometimes we do.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
People all over the state all weekend are sitting around talking, some of them with a Flight by Yuengling, which, by the way, is 95 calories. Tastes like a Yuengling, but it's the next generation of light beer. Got one right here. It's not open. It sits here. But people have been opening their beverage, whatever it is, and they've been talking about this higher. We've been talking about it for 9 weeks, but they've been really animated and talking about it for the last 24 to 30 hours.
Beer drinking's picked up.
Yeah. So maybe let Chuck and I in on that, some of that conversation. I don't want to go off just what are you and all your friends talking about? What are you saying about this? What are your friends saying? Has hearing Ryan Silverfield earlier on the show impacted any of that?
I'm going to tell you what I think's impacted people. I think last week, the middle of the week, there were all these reports out there that Alex Golesh was about to be our head coach. And it had happened. It was done. We got done with the show last week, and I flew to Chicago for the basketball game, walked into the room, and the first thing everybody talked about was how we got a new football coach. And we all did our deep dive on Alex Golesh. And we found some things we liked. We found a few things in there that we liked. And then, lo and behold, the weekend rolls around, and we get to Sunday, and he's going to Auburn. He picked Auburn over us, is the way a lot of people perceive that.
Yeah, it's probably accurate.
And we got Ryan Silverfield. And there's the sentiment that somehow we got beat. We got beat. Even though Silverfield's never lost to Golesh. Even though most people that are upset don't know exactly why they're mad. They just think that we lost last week because there were reports that unfortunately were terribly premature that Alex Golesh was our guy, and then all of a sudden he wasn't, and the appearance didn't look right. I don't know if we got the better of the two or not. We'll know within 2 or 3 years. I'm keeping receipts right now. All the people that are saying, Golesh is great and we got beat and Silverfield sucks, I'm keeping receipts. They may be right. I don't know. I have no idea. My point in all of this is we don't know if we've won or lost. We have no idea. We don't know. But the idea that somehow we've been beaten or that Hunter Yurachek is deficient as an AD because Auburn hired Golesh and we hired Silverfield, I can't get my head around that. Maybe somebody can help me. I can't get my head around it.
Well, if you look at the resumes, you can't get your head around it. But I think the way you described it, and I don't think people really dig below the surface. I mean, the thing about the coaching search is it's like popularity, it's splash, I like this guy now. And then it's like, we've got him as you described. You don't have him. We're going to Silverfield. Yeah, the same guy that beat Arkansas. The same guy that cost Sam Pittman his job and is now sitting in his office. That boss is your guy. Now, how it's going to turn out, by the way, at Florida with John Sumrall and how it's going to turn out at Auburn with Alex Golesh.
Or Kentucky.
We don't know either.
Kentucky
just fired Mark Stoops.
Today.
You said earlier, do you really get ahead? You asked the question, do you really get ahead if you fire your coach in the middle of the season? I don't know. But I know if you're Kentucky, you're definitely behind.
They waited a little late.
I'm going to tell you, they could have done a lot worse than Silverfield with this search, in my opinion.
Hey, I got to be honest. When I was leaving Memphis back in September, when we were leaving town, I'm thinking, hey, if they're going to fire Pittman, this guy right here is probably one they ought to look at.
Yeah. In fact, you might have mentioned that to me.
I might have.
Next week when you came in here. You just watch. That guy might be the next head coach. Prophecy. Almost 8 o'clock.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to watching games, nobody does it like Walk-Ons. Over 60 TVs at every location, and the food and drinks win. Mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine like po' boys and gumbo, plus fan favorites like the best burger you can get anywhere, and more draft beers and cocktails than you can count. Incredible food, wonderful service, and a viewing experience like none other. Walk-On Sports Bistro. We live for this. Woodhouse Spa is making the holidays easier and more relaxing. Give the gift of calm. Woodhouse delivers a customizable spa experience with every service tailored to your needs. And Woodhouse Spa gift cards are as meaningful as they are effortless. You can pick them up online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Or if you go in person and spend $250 or more, you'll receive a special holiday gift while supplies last. Woodhouse Spa Rogers in Pinnacle Hills or online at rogers.woodhousespas.com. Need help growing your brand with strategy and creativity? At Vanquish Marketing, the mission is simple. Help businesses grow with clarity, kindness, and excellence. They don't just run ads or manage campaigns. They come alongside brands as a true partner. By creating data-driven marketing funnels and building strategies that scale, they equip their clients for long-term success. Guided by their core values, they know growth is about more than transactions. It's about people. Visit vanquish.marketing to jumpstart your brand today.
Donuts, Red Bull, and lottery tickets. I mean, how could you want anything
Courtesy
more?
of the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show. Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Roger in Danville has chimed in. Petrino took over. I said Hogs would go 0-7. Remember, Bo?
Roger's one of these guys that, like, at 7 in the morning, it's going to be a terrible day. I don't care what everything's going to fall apart. They're not any good. They suck. And then at 5 o'clock, I told you it's going to be a terrible day. Right. Congratulate me on being right. Where's my trophy?
You know, everybody's like, traffic stacked up. You're going to be like,
I predicted that.
What are you smiling about?
The Chuck
I
and Bo
called
Show.
it. I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm at my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "What's heard on the Chuck and Bo Show?"
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Put together one of the best signing classes in Arkansas history, and we're going to be able to do that in a 3-day period. I think the fans are going to be blown away by the type of young men that we're going to get to come here, the type of character and the type of players to get this place back to where it needs to be. So it's been nonstop high school recruiting. Already had a great team meeting with the young men here. Listen, they're yearning to win. They deserve to win. It's my job and our staff's job to show them how to do it and put them in the right place with the correct structure. So team meeting, I'm going to be meeting with players all day. The current roster, I've been watching practice film of these guys, some of these guys that haven't played, to see what this thing looks like, building the roster, building out the staff, and ultimately putting together an entire program that's going to make this great state so damn proud.
Ryan Silverfield, who joined us earlier, you can catch that on demand on YouTube or the Chuck and Bo Show, wherever you get podcasts, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park.
You know, it's interesting. We pay attention to a lot of different things as fans, like what he says, what's the press conference going to go like, what are the national people saying. He's a coach. He's thinking about that roster. And, you know, we've talked about that, how – you know, just filling out a roster is not as simple as it sounds. And so he's got a lot of work to do in that area.
Reaction Monday.
Yep.
What a Reaction Monday it is. Thoughts on the hire and where Arkansas football's headed. 877-377-6963. John is in Hamburg. John, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show, December 1st.
Good morning, guys. I hope you had a good holiday. Just wanted to kind of give a little different perspective on where I'm at today with the hire. Obviously, enjoyed listening to the Ryan Silverfield interview. I think he says a lot of good things. I do want to flip it over on the other side. I think my frustration, a lot of people that I know are not with necessarily coach. It's with the athletic director, myself included. I don't trust the athletic director. At this point, I feel like there's a lot that's happened in this program that has led me here. The football record since he took over is 36-61. So if I'm a little skeptical, I don't think that's unfair. And I think if Hunter Yurchek's listening, you know, there's reason for people like me to be skeptical of your hire. And so I think that's unfair to the new football coach. But if you're going to be skeptical, let's just look at a couple things. His predecessors were very successful, and they did it in a much tougher conference. A conference with Cincinnati, SMU, Houston, Central Florida. And they've been very unsuccessful as head coaches when they left there. Now, I understand that you can't maybe Silverfield's going to be the difference. And I say very unsuccessful. I mean, I think Norvell's, struggling, and obviously Fuentes has already been fired at Virginia Tech. But I do think there's reason to be skeptical, and it's not with the coach, it's with the AD. And I don't know what y'all I think that's where when people are like, well, there's people upset, I think it's more with the athletic director, with the new coach. Obviously, I wish our new football coach nothing but the best, and just kind of would like to hear what y'all had to say about that.
Well, you're hitting on it. I mean, I want to dig in on that a little bit, but he's hitting on something that has been a narrative for especially the last couple of days. A lot of people are taking a lot of anger out on Hunter Yurachek, and at the same time saying they don't hold this new coach responsible for that. But they're also angry that they didn't get somebody else as the head coach. This has been a narrative that really goes back to Hunter at the Touchdown Club talking about NIL, the way that it was delivered initially, some other things that maybe were said at the Touchdown Club that people have hung on to. And Chuck, I know it's an ongoing conversation with a lot of people. I guess my questions to those people would just be like, I'd like to maybe double click on that a little bit. Like, what is it that he's actually doing or not doing that you have fault with? They're pretty successful, as an athletic department. They have not been successful in football. If you talk to Hunter, he'll point to some finances that they're at a deficit in when it comes to comparing yourself to other football programs' budgets in this league. So there's been, and he alluded to it in his statement yesterday, there's been a push by him and the athletic department to increase those finances. And he said in his statement, when he talked about Coach Silverfield yesterday, the one the university released, with our new and significant financial investment in the football program, we are confident we now have the coach and resources to make that happen. So I guess now it's a matter of whether you believe that.
Well, we asked a little bit earlier of Coach Silverfield, do you have the resources? And my understanding is they've raised some money over the last several weeks. They made a concerted effort, and there's been a significant amount of money raised. I don't know that it's all that they want to raise, but there's been a significant amount of money raised.
I don't think they're there yet.
Yeah,
but there's more than they had when they started.
That would probably be the best way to put it. I think that look, there's the reality of the 2-10 season, and it's not as though people are in a great mood over the way things have gone. But I do think there was the appearance last week, whether right or wrong, there was the appearance that Arkansas had lost something. And you're right. And the narrative as we've gone through this football season is that it's all Hunter's fault. I mean, he's become the whipping post for everything. His charge, as I understand it, when he was hired, was a well-rounded athletic department. He's been very successful in that regard. But the most important sport to people is football. And it is tough being an athletic director at a school in the SEC that's not as good at football as your fans think they ought to be, because they can't understand why every time they fire somebody, there's not somebody out there just gnawing at the bit to come take their job. And whether it's Hunter, whether it's the athletic director, the guy at Kentucky, man, he's going to have a hell of a week. And down there at Auburn, they everybody wants they want John Gruden to come out of retirement or Nick Saban to come out of retirement and come coach you. And if you don't pull that off, they think you've lost. And, there's Ryan Silverfield's a ball coach and a pretty good one. So's John Sumrall. So's Alex Golish. All these guys, good ball coaches. And, we'll see how it all plays out.
I mean, you can go back, and I know if you really dig in, you can go back and you can say, hey, they made this mistake when they gave Pittman an extension. They made that mistake here. They didn't get do the right things early enough in NIL and all that stuff. And maybe that gets you to the point where you're at now. But I don't think there's any question that everything you just said is true, which means this. Hunter Yurachek's got more at stake with this hire than maybe anybody else does.
Well, he does, and the reality is, for a coach, for an AD, when you lose the fan base, it's hard to get them back, and he's teetering on the brink right there. And the success of Ryan Silverfield is going to be the deciding factor. It's going to tilt it one way or the other. That's completely unfair, but that's reality. And look, he knows that. I mean, he knows that. But yeah, I think that if you were to, find out what the prevailing sentiment is in Arkansas this morning, it's I'm for the guy. I'm going to give him a chance, but, man, I don't like Hunter. And as I said a little earlier, I've still not been able to fully get my head around that.
Well, LSU just ran their athletic director out of town. I think they called him an Uber. I don't even know if they did that. Did he have to walk? Did he have to take a bus out of town?
You had to call
Was
and
he
check
at like
the Greyhound
Jefferson,
schedule.
Jefferson line or whatever? He's down there at the bus station. Like, I think I recognize that guy. Can't find a ride. Nobody will pick him up. Uber's scared. They don't even want to deal with him. I mean, they got that guy out of there so fast. This, by the way, we haven't talked a ton about this yet. We will as the week goes on. But this LSU thing, it's like, man, what a deal. What a situation. What a situation with Lane Kiffin. You have a playoff team, and you're not coaching the playoff team. And now you're going to go to LSU and try to create a playoff team. And there's so much that happens around that LSU program. I think a lot of people expect Kiffin to go there and have success, and I would be in that camp, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it just doesn't work.
Well, it's always been a zoo down there. Yeah, I mean that's standard operating procedure. And I'm not saying they do a bad job. They do a fine job. They just do it their way, and their way's crazy. It's just always been that way. I mean, look, you got the governor. You got all the things that have happened at LSU the last month, and yet they're essentially a one-team state with as good a recruiting base as you'll ever find. Every kid in Louisiana dreams of playing at Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. Lane Kiffin is going to go down there and kill it. There's just no way around it. And I think that compounds some of the frustration at Arkansas. Is LSU's got a guy that everybody knows is getting ready to kill it. You think about this. There's 3 teams in this league right now, and if you factor Pete Golding in at Ole Miss, there's 25% of the league is betting on the come with coaches who have not been at this level before in the positions that they're going to find themselves in. That is significant. And it also, I think, if I was an LSU fan, I'd be excited. We got the hottest coach in America, and there's 25% of the league that's, betting on guys that haven't coached in our league before. We're in a good spot. I think LSU's in the catbird seat right now. They're crazy, but I guess it's a good kind of crazy for football.
I think everyone was excited at Auburn when they hired Freeze. I think that
I thought it was going to work. I did too.
I mean that was you want to talk about a splash hire? That's a splash hire. And 2 years later, they've got a guy named Alex Golesh. I mean, it's not the same thing. Now, he might be better. He might do a better job. Probably will. But sometimes, like, this whole name thing is not – that's not it. It's the right fit at the right time. And did Arkansas get it right? 877-377-6963. Which side of it are you on? How you feeling about it? It's 8:15. We got to go to the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Bart has been patiently waiting. And I know he's got things to say.
He's got thoughts.
And when he's got thoughts and he's got things to say, there's just no holding him back. By the way, if you need legal help, Cadell Reynolds can make it happen for you. Get a free consultation today at CadellReynolds.com or give them a call, 866-314-3728. Denied disability claims, bankruptcy, whatever it is, you need some legal help. You need a consultation. Make the right call. Cadell Reynolds. Back in a minute on the Chuck and Bo Show. I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Some moments call for more than just a win. They call for unforgettable. At Blakeman's, you're not just buying a diamond. You're creating an experience that starts the moment you walk through the door. Their newly remodeled space is absolutely stunning, and Cafe B has a personal touch you won't find anywhere else. Their in-house diamond expert makes it easy to find the perfect piece for any occasion, and that purple bag, still undefeated when it comes to saving the day. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. It's more than jewelry. It's your story.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Cutting corners is generally a bad idea. And when it comes to roofing, it's real bad. That's why Teamwork Roofing and Construction uses only the best materials, like Malarkey shingles, which perform better, protect longer, and are more sustainable. Residential or commercial. Got a complicated job? They've got the certified crews ready to deliver on time and on budget. You need a roof that's built on quality and powered by Teamwork. Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Log on to teamworkbuilt.com and get a quote today. That's teamworkbuilt.com. Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You know, when you have two hosts on a show and one host is like laughing uncontrollably, the other one's supposed to talk. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
More calls coming up, but Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room has been percolating. It's like,
reached a boiling
It's like the grease bubbling on bacon. You know, that's been happening all day. So now we go to the bacon.
That sounds really good.
Chevy of Fayetteville.
I'm hungry.
That grease pop.
Year-end savings happening right now at Chevy of Fayetteville, but it's the people you're dealing with there. Chris, Mark, Denver. Great group of people ready to help you. Free loaners. They got a service department. When you get a vehicle there, it's a relationship that's going to last you a lifetime. Chevy of Fayetteville inside the Fayetteville Auto Park. Together, let's drive. Bart, thoughts?
How we doing?
We're doing great. Come out. A lot
What are
to be,
your thoughts?
lot to
What
be
are you
thankful
thinking?
for. What are you
What are you
thankful for,
thinking?
Bart? Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy
Post
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for you guys.
I appreciate you too.
Hey, look, I mean, there's a lot of things kind of going on in my mind ever since the news came out that Ryan Silverfield was going to be Arkansas's new head coach. The first thing I went to was kind of like what my criteria was for the new head coach based on stats, based on history, all that. And if he met those stats, and I kind of had three big things, you know, I thought it needed to be a younger coach based on Arkansas's most successful coaches and kind of the age they were when they were hired. And he checks that box. You know, he's 45 years old. I thought Arkansas needed somebody with an offensive background. He certainly fits that bill. I mean, outside of a couple years coaching the defensive line in the NFL, he's been on offense his entire career. But the big thing for me was always hiring somebody with prior coaching experience in the SEC. And he does not have that. And, you know, I've been through the stats. I've been through the data. Hiring a coach with prior SEC experience at a school like in Arkansas or Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, it doesn't guarantee success. But hiring a coach without it sure doesn't have a track record of working. And that's kind of where I am, is the thought process that, you know, there's a better chance than not that this isn't going to work, right? Just based on the history, based on the stats. And that's definitely a concern. Now, I like Ryan Silverfield. I talked to a lot of people from Memphis yesterday. I had people calling and texting me from back home, people who know that program, who support that program, who think the world of Ryan Silverfield, and who wish him nothing but the best and hope it works out. And that Memphis is worse off not having him. I mean, he did lead the Tigers to back-to-back 10-win seasons. That's the only time in school history that's happened. And he did it with his own team, his own players that he built. Those were not Mike Norvell's guys, right? That was, 4 or 5 years after Norvell had left. There are positives, but there are also negatives, and it's foolish to not act like there aren't, He's got a losing record overall against teams with a winning record. Well, if you like that's almost every week in the SEC. Like that's something you got to fix. You got to win those games. You got to beat teams. You got to win the games you're supposed to win and pull some upsets. That's the recipe for success at Arkansas. That's always been the recipe for success at Arkansas. So I understand people who are questioning the hire and who wonder whether or not it will work. And I understand people who are mad at the situation. I feel like fans feel like they've been duped a little bit, right? With the reports that have come out from people who, or whether you consider them media or not, have made fans believe that they were actually in the running for James Franklin. James Franklin was never a factor in the Arkansas coaching search. He just wasn't. Alex Golesh was. And some things happened there that didn't look, and that was kind of my guy, who I thought would be a really good hire for the Razorbacks. And that's not saying that Ryan Silverfield won't be, but I understand the people who are upset at just the way things have gone for the football program over the past, year or two, and just kind of the external operations and just the way things have gone, and the way things have gone, frankly, for a decade. It hasn't been a lot of fun to be a Razorback football fan for a long time.
So we doomed or not?
And people
play the fight song.
Yeah, somebody play the fight song. My God.
And, look, but here's what I'll say.
When you went through the 3 boxes, I was going to say 2 out of 3 is not bad.
Here's
yes. Sing it, Bart.
Here's what I'll say. I'm not gonna do that to people's ears. Here's what I'll say. I don't know.
Backs to the face.
I think Ryan Silverfield's a good coach. I don't know if this is a good hire for Arkansas, but you have.
That's gentleman. That's gentleman. Sorry, keep going.
But
I'm done. So.
You have to let things play out too, right? Like it's almost like there are people out there who don't want the program to be successful. Like they're so mad that they don't want Ryan Silverfield to win. They don't want him to be successful. And they don't even stop and consider what if he is?
There's a term for that. Self-sabotage.
What if he is successful?
That's what anger does to you.
You have to give him a chance, right? because otherwise you're screwed, and it doesn't matter who you hire.
Yeah.
It does not matter if you don't support the guy. I understand if you're mad with Hunter Yurachek, you can't be mad at Ryan Silverfield. You have to give him a chance to show what he can do, because he might surprise you and he might turn this thing around and have some success at Arkansas.
There he is, Bart Pullman in the Chevy of Fayetteville Situation Room. Beautiful. With a well-rounded take on the whole situation. Let's go to New Orleans.
My best.
Robert, you're in New Orleans and you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. What's happening? Robert?
I'm not in New Orleans.
Where are you?
I'm not in New Orleans.
Well, Edward thought you were. Yeah,
Where are you, Robert? Where are you?
I'm Fort Smith.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
I'm
close
in
to
Same
thing. You're in North America. Go ahead.
I was told New Orleans on the phone.
I love the Hogs, but I think over the last few years and coaches, we've done a lousy job of finding high school players out of the state of Arkansas that can play football. And I'm encouraged when Ryan talks about he's going to look through the Arkansas high schools and try to find some players. I mean, I'm encouraged by that, but I still remember the first thing that Chad Morris said when he had his first conference. He said, we're going to go left lane, hammer down. And I was so excited about that because I've always felt like Arkansas has been a little conservative with their play calling. And I thought, boy, we're going to take off. And it just didn't happen. But the fact is, nobody knows. You could hire Nick Saban. He could come here, and it might not work. And I don't know why sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. You hire a good coach, and it doesn't work out. I don't understand football well enough to know, but I'm going to support this guy until he gives me a reason not to. And so that's kind of where I'm at.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Another sort of well thought out take there, Chuck.
I don't think, I don't think what he said's unlike what a lot of people are thinking.
I'd like to remove Chad Morris from all conversation, but I get it. Jason in Fayetteville, you're on the
Strike his name from take him out of the media guide.
Take
him out of the media guide.
I don't know. Jason in Fayetteville. Hey, Jason.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are y'all doing today?
Doing well, thank you. Hope you are.
Thank you. I'm definitely not going to bring politics into this show, but I do want to talk about the politics of money and fundraising on my take on all this scenario. So I think it was probably a couple months ago, you have Nelson Peacock, who's the head of the NWA Council, and he goes and meets with a lot of the wealthy families in state, and the main target being the Waltons. Now, let's keep in mind, we're not asking Walmart to donate. We're asking the Waltons to donate because Walmart as a whole is not going to donate to the Razorbacks. It's a nationwide deal, worldwide deal. So if you look, and you guys have talked about this before, when you have a community, a state that has a one-man show like the Razorbacks, pretty much like LSU, Alabama was kind of that way. It changes the whole aspect of your tuition you can raise, your students that desire to come to the universities if you win in football. I don't care what anybody says. He presented all these polls that were taken. The numbers were astronomical about how important college football was to decision-making of kids wanting to come to those universities. Presented all this stuff, great presentation. And the problem with the Walton family was 3 years ago when we were trying to get a new chancellor, their guy out of Utah didn't get the job. So they have been sour on donating as much money as they wanted to the University of Arkansas. So I don't care what anybody says about politics aren't in the game. Everybody laughed at the governor of the governor of Louisiana getting involved. Guess what? They got the best coach in the nation. How'd that work out? The answer to all this,
but it wasn't because of him. It was in spite of him.
I know that. I know that, but I tell you what, the governor got involved, and the bottom line is they have Lane Kiffin. Now, as far as the money goes, it's not going to be someone, like me sitting here. It's going to have to be people with long money. So these coaches, there's 6 or 7 of them we could have had until we get some type of commitment for some real money who knows how these people are going to do, because it's such an unfair system now, and that's just the cards we're dealt, and it's hard when you're competing against some of these states that just have ungodly amounts of wealth, like Texas and stuff like that. But there's a lot more to this, in my opinion, than just we looked for this guy and he didn't like us. I think it's the elephant in the room is the money, in my opinion.
Well, it's definitely a part of it. There's no question about it. And we've talked about that a lot. As a state, we got to get everybody as connected as possible. One of the ways you do that, Chuck, is you hire a coach who can pull it off. And Ryan Silverfield hadn't even been here for a day, but he's saying some good things. And we'll see if he can be that guy.
That's right.
We'll see if he can be that guy. It's 8:32. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Back with your thoughts in a moment.
Bart, you speak like you're the only smart man breathing.
I take that as a compliment, I think.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey folks, Chuck Barrett here, the voice of the Razorbacks. And if you're ready for freedom from glasses or contacts, there's only one name you need to know: McDonald Eye Associates. Whether it's LASIK, clear lens exchange, or advanced cataract surgery, they've got the solution to help you see your best, no matter your age. Doctors Betts and Mangarelli are the real deal, two of the most experienced surgeons anywhere. They've even taken care of my eyes. And now I'm seeing the basketball court crystal clear. I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye, and you will be too.
Hey, it's Bo, and I want to share something that's completely enhanced my day-to-day life. About a year ago, I started telling you about the Sweatnum Edge. Well, over the last several months, here's what's happened for me. My energy level is completely different. My exercise gains have seen a big jump. My mind is clearer, and frankly, life is just more enjoyable. Now, that's my story. What about you? Search the Sweatnum Edge online and get a free evaluation today. It's made a big difference for me, and I know it can for you too. The Sweatnum Edge.
Kids, there's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Get up. You got to get up. You got to go. You're going to feel worse if you don't. Feel better now.
Yeah, I don't know about
Hate
that.
it later.
You might feel better staying in bed.
You will. You will.
That's an embellishment. You might feel better staying in bed.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
December 1st, and as Bart has reported on the Weather Center over there, also the Chevy Fayetteville Situation Room, that it's entirely too cold.
It is cold.
And
entirely
high
too.
of 35, small chance for a little snow, freezing, precipitation. And you might follow Dan Scoff on Twitter. He might tell you that there's a bit of a winter advisory going on.
I've gotten a report from my in-laws in Bella Vista that snow has fallen.
There is some precipitation falling in northwest Arkansas right now. Snow in Benton County, light snow.
It's a reminder to get to the store, get your bread and milk.
Yeah.
Make sure you're.
So you can make your milk sandwiches.
It's the only time I drink milk or eat bread is like during snowstorms.
Yeah, it's kind of like playing the lottery when it's at 900 million.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now we can play it.
That's right.
Cecil's in Fort Smith. Cecil, good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hey, Cecil.
Cecil, turn that radio
we hear
down.
ourselves in the background sounding horrible.
Well, happy late Thanksgiving.
Hey, same to you. Can you turn that down in the
turn
background?
turn that radio down, Cecil. Our timing's off. Really?
You got something on.
Well, something's not right.
Hey, it's probably the YouTube stream. Turn the YouTube stream off.
Yeah.
I don't have anything on.
Where are you?
Are you on speakerphone?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on a minute.
It sounds like us.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, he's on the speakerphone.
Yeah.
No, I'm on YouTube. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's.
It sounds like you're a mile away from the
Sounds like you're
phone.
across the room.
Hold on. Let me.
Hang on. We got plenty of time. Go ahead. We'll wait. We'll wait.
Wait a minute. I got the wrong phone. I got the wrong phone, Chuck. My bad.
That's all right.
I was looking at y'all. Hey, man, I love y'all, man, and I always like watching.
I hear you. Are you there?
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. I'm still at home. I'm getting I don't open to 9 anyway. But anyway, yeah, I got a few things to say for the new coach. Well, I want to say good luck to Bobby. He shouldn't have a problem getting another job, and he's rich anyway. And if he don't get a job, the new coach, I'm gonna just sit back and ride. Hopefully, the way he wanted, I'm sure that's why Arkansas hired him. The way he wanted Memphis, hopefully he can come to Fayetteville and win. 10 games is great. Basketball, Pringle ain't showed up yet. Where is he at? Shopping groceries, Walmart, washing his car. He ain't showed up yet. I will be at the game tomorrow because I love my Hogs anyway. But Pringle, man, we got to beef it up in the paint. That guy number 12, I don't know his name because I'm still learning all the players.
Ewan.
I think
Malik Ewing. Yeah, Ewan.
I think he's going to be pretty good. But I think he's going to be pretty good. To me, he plays better than Pringle. Pringle ain't showed up, man. I mean, that's
Cecil's
just my
down
opinion.
on Nick Pringle.
Catching straight.
Hey, you know,
New football.
How do you feel
y'all know
about
how
Ryan
I do it.
Silverfield?
Hey, wait a minute. Check this one out. Walker, hey, I hope I never see him again. I mean, I wish him luck. I don't wish him any bad luck for his life. But, man, he sucked as a defensive back. I mean, he totally sucked. All season, he sucked.
He had a sack on Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. He sucked. He still sucked. And actually, the whole defensive back sucked. Just put it like that. But Walker is running with the torch. He's the number one sucker. God.
Jiminy Christmas.
Hey, man, and that's all I got to say. Chuck, I'll see you at the game tomorrow, buddy.
All right, Cecil, be careful out there.
Okay.
See you there.
All right, y'all.
We'll all be there.
They ain't called
Does
it
Cecil
debate.
know they hired a coach?
Nick Pringle?
Nick Pringle
And
catching
I Walker.
strays. Hired a new coach, and it's Nick Pringle season.
I'm glad he clarified he didn't wish bad on them in life.
Not
but
in
he
their
just
life.
Doesn't ever want to see them again.
That's right. Just wants him to leave town
Yeah.
today.
So he didn't want Silverfield to hang on to that guy, apparently.
I think
Does he
was a
have any
senior.
eligibility
I think
left?
he's a senior.
Boy, that was.
Hey, if he keeps number 7, that's a really good start for me. If he keeps KJ Jackson, That's a really good start.
Quincy Rhodes, be another
Quincy
one.
Rhodes, that'd be a good one too. Some of them I think have, they're all these schools right now trying to re-up their guys. It's kind of like the pros. You're trying to re-up your guy for next year, and they've got a few that have re-upped. But, man, I thought KJ Saturday was impressive.
So, Chuck, I went to Blakeman's.
You did?
Yeah. Got a diamond ring.
That's what I heard. By the way, we've not mentioned this today. Can we talk about it on the air?
Sure.
Bo is betrothed.
Apparently somebody called. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. It was a great week in Mexico. Apparently somebody called the show and asked if I had been deported, I heard.
Well,
what did you guys say about what did you say was going
Well,
on?
I mean, we might have fed that narrative. Maybe. No, I don't. No, I don't think it was deported.
I
but
did
like,
get back into the country.
Yeah, would they let you back in? I think was the question.
It was concerns about whether the cartel might have gotten you.
Yeah, well, I went to Blakeman's, and we talk about Blakeman's a lot, but I can't say enough about the experience that Ben helped me tremendously. Pick out the engagement ring.
Just the right ring.
The whole experience was amazing. And then I got to Mexico and I realized, I had a plan to get engaged there, but I didn't think about getting out of the country with the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to buy one off the street down there.
Yeah.
So,
but we did make it back with the ring.
That's great.
And it was a wonderful experience. But
congratulations.
It is where Arkansas gets engaged, and it is they helped me get engaged at Blakeman's. But it is more than jewelry. It's about your story. And we say that all the time. But when you go in there to pick something like that out, it's like, all right, tell me about where you are, what she's all about, what she's like, where you are in life, all these things. And then there is options around your story, not just like, well, just give me that one. How about that one? And it was a heck of an experience and a heck of a week.
And she said
yes.
yes.
I now have a fiance,
And
Kara.
she said yes.
And she said yes.
Yeah. I mean, there was some, it's kind of iffy.
Well, there was a moment in there where I think I missed the first yes. In fact, I know I did. And I asked her, did you say yes?
What?
And she said, yeah, she did.
Double yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to be sure.
Well, yeah. You can't leave anything to chance there.
Otherwise you're going to put that sucker back in your pocket.
That's right.
8:45. Good morning, the Chuck and Bo Show.
I know this is an audio medium, and I shouldn't just shake my head, but words fail me.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
When something goes wrong, a car wreck, an injury, mounting debt, or getting denied the help you deserve, it's hard to know where to turn.
That's when Cadell Reynolds shows up. This is a team that fights for Arkansans. Personal injury, disability, bankruptcy, they handle it all. And they know how to get results.
You've got enough to deal with. Don't try to figure it out alone.
Call Cadell Reynolds, 866-314-3728, or visit CadellReynolds.com.
Cadell Reynolds. Make the right call.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Are your gutters ready for fall? Leaves are coming, and that means it's time to protect your home. At Hogtroff Gutters, they install high-quality leaf guards that actually work. Don't waste money on the cheap guards from big box stores that clog up, and don't get stuck paying triple the price with those big national companies. With Hogtroff, you get the best of both worlds. Professional installation, premium aluminum, and stainless steel guards, as well as a 20-year warranty. Give them a call today to schedule your free inspection, or visit hoggutters.com.
There's no better shopping experience than you're going to find at Macadoodles or at Guess Who in Bentonville. And every Wednesday is Wine Down Wednesday. 15% off every bottle of wine in the store, even if it's already on sale. But when it comes to selection, amazing prices, and unbeatable customer service, Macadoodles and Guess Who in Bentonville is second to none. Wine, beer, and spirits. Stock up for your next party or just stop by and grab your favorite. Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista, and Guess Who in Bentonville. Distribution Solutions Incorporated began providing superior customer service back in 1997 based out of Harrison, Arkansas, and they're supporting our local communities today and always looking for professional OTR drivers. DSI knows drivers by name. They're about their people, and when you work with DSI, it feels more like a family than a job, and they know home time matters. If you're a driver, check out their website, drivedsi.com. All the benefits, all the vacation time, and that home time that matters.
Hold on, guys. I'm on the Chuck and Bo Show. Hold on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You enjoy fake AI generated stories.
I do.
And getting scammed on the internet.
I do.
Facebook is for you.
That's what I like. That's what I want.
Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oh, Bart went 2-3 in the locks over the weekend and buried in all the excitement of the conversation around the new head coach. We'll move it right along.
No.
Are you on a skid? Is this a trend?
Let's just look. Kentucky, Mark Stoops, sayonara, man, because you didn't.
He's been killing you all year.
You didn't show up against Louisville in any way, shape, or form.
And you had a pick.
I did. I had Kentucky +3. Pitt also no-showed.
Pat Narduzzi.
Pat Narduzzi, get him out of there.
Yeah, terrible
Did
coach.
not show up against Miami. Oklahoma did not show up against LSU, but still managed to win. They did not cover. Vanderbilt did beat Tennessee outright, though.
They did.
And Alabama covered against Auburn. So Vandy has been very good to the locks this year. Very, very good. Shout out Clark Lee. Put him in the playoff. Put them in the playoff.
Some news that we'll just recap in case you missed it. Ryan Silverfield to Arkansas. We had him on the show earlier today. You can catch that Chuck and Bo on demand, hour 2 in the podcast. It was at 7:15 if you're going back to watch it on YouTube. Chuck and Bo on demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. 25 years in business. Trust, relationships, customer service. That's what you get there. You can drive with confidence. Stoops is out at Kentucky. By the way, I believe Silverfield, from everything I understand, it's a 5-year deal, $33.5 million, which comes out to $6.7 annually. Summerall's getting $7.5 at Florida, and Golish, according to reports, getting $7.2 at Auburn. These guys are getting like $4 million raises or more coming out of the American Athletic Conference. Who really won their coaching search? Maybe we can get into that as we go throughout the week.
LSU
what fan
won.
base feels like they won?
Yeah, LSU.
Yeah, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech probably feels like they won.
I think Missouri's got to feel like they won by keep and drink.
Yeah.
Man, I would feel like a win if you're a Missouri fan, wouldn't it?
I think John Summerall's a really good coach. I think Florida, man, they've got issues down there. They've got issues.
Their athletic director's in trouble.
But I think Summerall's a very good coach. I think Alex Golish is a very good coach. But similar stuff going on at Auburn. Those are dysfunctional programs these days. That's why they haven't been winning and having success.
Auburn's had 5 straight losing seasons.
I thought Silverfield had a lot of good things to say today.
Yeah.
But look, these
Catch
programs,
the full interview on YouTube.
Listen. I don't know that Florida or Auburn out-hired Arkansas. We'll see how it all plays out, but this is not, to me, some black and white obvious thing where it's like, oh, yeah, they did a really good job and Arkansas did not.
It's just the perception from last week.
From all the way that it played out on social media, by the way. That's where it got the emotion going. Not necessarily what really happened. It is true that Golish did back away, from everything I understand, when Auburn became available. But would anybody be surprised by that if you followed these programs and the coaches that they've had over the years?
I think if you were to look at the outside world, and I think this is part of the reason we're upset, because there's a cold, hard reality that the outside world looked at it as Florida, Auburn, Arkansas, in that order. And that doesn't sit well with us. Look, I'm looking forward to Ryan Silverfield. Everyone that I've talked to talks about what a good football coach he is. And at the end of the day, I stopped a long time ago paying attention to who wins the press conference. We've won press conferences with guys who couldn't win on the field. And we've had guys that had a little trouble speaking here and there who were pretty good out on the football field. And I want to win some games, man.
Well, doing a hog pod with Silverfield later today. Hogsplus.com. Use the promo code New Era and get 25% off a subscription. We'll do it again tomorrow. Have a great Monday.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
Buying or selling a home's a big deal, and you want someone who is with you every step of the way. That's why those of us at the Chuck and Bo Show wholeheartedly recommend Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because we've experienced it. They've been my partners for life. They're Bo's partner now, and I promise you, when you become involved with Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, they'll become your partners for life too. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can always log on and check out their selection at WeicherGriffin.com.